This is probably going to be a little freaky.
Grandma, please don't freak out. I got arrested. There was an accident. Please don't call Mom yet. I'm so scared. Can you help me, please?
I mean, the thing's even stuttering. Oh, I really like this one.
And this is why you should subscribe to my channel.
That's it. Seriously. That's the whole thing. That's what shocked me. No recording studio, no special equipment, no hacker sitting in a dark room. Just a few words and a button. And this is what really bothered me. The technology isn't what got Nancy. The technology just got her attention. What got Nancy is what happened next. Because think about it. Even if someone calls you sounding exactly like your grandson, would you really jump in the car and drive all the way to Walmart? Probably not. At least, I hope not. So how did they get her there? Well, they used something every scammer understands. Fear, urgency, and isolation. The grandson wasn't just crying that he was in trouble. He needed help right now. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. And then came the most important line in the entire scam. Grandma, don't tell anybody. Think about that. Don't call your daughter. Don't call your son. Don't call anybody. Just stay on the phone with me, because the moment Nancy talks to someone else, the scammer's over. The moment she hangs up, the scam is over. The moment she verifies the story, the scam is over. So the scammers, they keep her busy. They keep her emotional. And most importantly, they keep her isolated. Seriously, these scammers will stay on the phone with victims for 5 or 6 hours so nobody else can talk to them. And then they make transitions like this. At some point during the phone call, something happened. The grandson stops talking and somebody else gets on the phone that claims to be a lawyer. Now think about this. If you're Nancy, the lawyer makes this whole story feel even more believable, because now there's another person involved, someone with authority, someone who sounds professional, someone who seems to know what's going on. And the lawyer explains that her grandson has been arrested for an incident. People were injured, and if the family wants to help, they need money immediately. Now, the amount of money in these cases, it changes from case to case. Sometimes it's $3,000, sometimes it's $5,000, sometimes it's $10,000. In Nancy's case, it was $8,000. And here's the genius of this scam. The scammers don't ask for the money first, they earn it through emotion first. Think about it. If a stranger calls you and asks you for $8,000, I don't know about you, but baby, I'm hanging up immediately. Like, seriously, I'm hanging up immediately. But you believe your grandson is sitting in jail, he's scared, he's crying, and he's counting on you. That same request suddenly feels different. And that's exactly what the scammers are counting on. Because by this point, Nancy isn't making a financial decision, she's making an emotional decision. And emotional decisions are usually the most expensive ones we can make. Now here's where things take another turn. Because once Nancy agrees to help, the lawyer gives her instructions, and those instructions lead directly to Wally World, Walmart. And this is the part that really fascinated me, because once Nancy agrees to help, the lawyer doesn't tell her to go to the bank. He doesn't tell her to wire money. He doesn't tell her to use Cash App, Venmo, or Zelle. Go to Walmart? Now, if you're Nancy, that should sound strange. But remember, Nancy isn't thinking normal, right? She's thinking like a grandmother trying to help her grandson. And that's exactly where the scammers want her to do. So she gets in the car and she drives all the way to Walmart. She gets there. The lawyer gives her a clear set of instructions while he's on the phone. Go to the gift card section, buy these gift cards now. At first glance, that doesn't make any sense, because gift cards are for birthdays, Christmas presents, graduation gifts. They ain't for bail money. Lawyers, emergencies, where do they do that at? So why gift cards? Because gift cards solve a problem. But not for Nancy, for the scammers. You see, if Nancy sends that money through her bank, then there's a paper trail. There's fraud departments, there's investigators, there's procedures, there are delays. But gift cards move at the speed of light. Seriously, the moment Nancy buys the cards and reads that number off the back, that money is gone. Like, instantly. You don't have to ship anything. You don't have to wait. There's no delay. They receive the money immediately, and the scammers know it. That's why they love sending you to Walmart, Target, CVS, and Walgreens, because those stores sell the one thing scammers need more than anything else, and that's speed. The faster they can separate you from the money, the less time you have to think, the less time you have to verify, the less time you have to realize that something feels wrong. Now, by this time, Nancy is sitting in Walmart with $8,000 worth of gift cards. The grandson is still in trouble. The lawyer's on the phone. She's scared. She's emotional. She's moments away from losing everything. But then something incredible happens. Not a police officer, not a bank manager, not even the FBI, a Walmart cashier. And one simple question from that cashier almost stopped this entire scam. A cashier, think about that. Nancy has made it all the way through the phone call. She's driven to Walmart. She's standing there with $8,000 worth of gift cards. And the one person who sees something is wrong is the cashier. Now, I don't know exactly what was going through the cashier's mind, but I can imagine after you've worked in retail so long, you're starting to see patterns. You know when someone looks nervous. You know when something feels off. And before Nancy paid for those gift cards, the cashier asked her a simple question. That's a lot of gift cards you got there. What exactly are those for? Not necessarily a complicated question, right? But it was enough to interrupt the script. And that's important because scammers hate interruptions. They hate questions. They hate verifications. They hate anything that slows the victim down. And for the first time that day, Nancy stopped. She explained what was happening. The grandson, the accident, the lawyer, the $8,000, and the cashier immediately recognized the scam because she's seen it before. Just like that, years of planning, artificial intelligence, voice cloning, social engineering, the fake lawyer, the urgency, the fear, all of it started falling apart because one person asked one question. And here's what I want you to understand. The cashier didn't save Nancy because she understood artificial intelligence. The cashier saved Nancy because she understood human behavior. She understood that legitimate lawyers don't ask for bail money and gift cards. She understood that real emergencies don't require secrecy. And she understood that when somebody is trying to rush you, something is usually wrong. Now, unfortunately, not every story ends this way because a lot of people never met that type of cashier. A lot of people buy the cards, they read off the numbers, and that's where we come back to the question that we've been carrying through this entire video. Why couldn't the bank help? Imagine had Nancy purchased those cards. Imagine if she had read those numbers over the phone. What happens next? Well, from the bank's perspective, everything looks normal. The customer went to Walmart. The customer purchased a product. The transaction was approved. Nothing appears unusual. End of discussion. Because the purchase isn't the problem. The problem is what happens after the purchase. You see, the way the banks look at this is no different from going to the ATM, withdrawing money, and losing it. They're not going to reimburse you because you legitimately took the money from the ATM. Because the moment those gift card numbers are given to the scammer, the value stored on those cards can and will be redeemed immediately. And by the time the victims realize they've been scammed, the money has already been converted into something else. And that's what makes this scam so difficult to unwind. The banks didn't lose any money. Walmart didn't lose any money. The victim voluntarily purchased the gift cards. The criminal simply convinced them to hand over the value. Now, after hearing all that, you might be thinking, whew, boy, do I even have a chance these days. I mean, think about what we covered. Artificial intelligence, voice cloning, social engineering, fake attorneys, gift cards, urgency, fear. It sounds like a lot. But here's the good news. You don't need to understand any of that. Like, seriously, you don't need to understand AI to beat these scammers. You don't need a degree in cybersecurity. P.S. I don't have one of those either, so you really don't need one of those. Trust me. You don't need any special software, and you don't need to become a technologist overnight, because there's one simple rule that shuts this entire scam down. My family uses it, and after this video, I recommend yours too. It's called the safe word rule. Now, the safe word rule is super simple. You sit down with your family, your children, your grandchildren, your grandparents, and together you create a secret word or phrase, something that only your family knows, something that's never posted online, something that isn't on Facebook, Instagram, or in a public photo album. Then you make an agreement. If there's ever an emergency, a true emergency, the person asking for help has to know the safe word. And if they don't know the safe word, the conversation stops immediately. Think about how Nancy's situation. The grandson calls. He's crying. He's scared. He's been arrested. He needs money. And Nancy says, okay, hey, baby, I hear you, but let me get that safe word. How different would that have turned out? Things would have slowed down right there. Because artificial intelligence can clone a voice, but it can't clone your family's secret word. Now, if you got some value from this video, share it with your parent, your grandparent, your mama, your cousin, your uncle too, because this is one of those scams that's much easier to prevent than it is to recover from. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I post new scam alerts every Wednesday and Saturday. And when you subscribe and hit that red bell, YouTube will put these videos right on your homepage so you never miss another scam report. I'm Clewis, and I'll see you on the next one.